Welcome to the Retirement Guide Podcast. I'm your host, George Jameson, the owner of Capital Wealth Group, a fee-only advisory firm. Whether you're nearing retirement or already retired, join me each week as we explore the world of retirement planning and equip you with the knowledge and tools you need for a successful retirement. Today, I want to talk about how we help clients evaluate whether a Roth conversion strategy makes sense. Roth conversions are currently a hot topic in tax planning for a good reason, but they may or may not be the right fit for you. And if they are, the next question is how much to convert and when. So before you get caught up in all the buzz and convert all of your pre-tax accounts to Roth accounts, take a few minutes to listen to this episode. It will give you a clearer picture and may help you decide if a Roth conversion is truly in your best interest. Before we dive in, I want to point out that for many people nearing retirement or those who've just retired, the potential tax savings from a Roth conversion can be significant over time. If you have $700,000 or more in pre-tax accounts, it's definitely something worth looking into. The best way to figure out if a Roth conversion makes sense for you is by using some type of retirement planning software. You can find a few options online, but I highly recommend working with a fee-only financial planner because it can get pretty complicated. Even if you manage your own investments, it's still worth having a planner put together a Roth conversion strategy for you. We offer this service and charge either by the hour or per plan. For those who may not be familiar, a Roth conversion is when you move funds from your traditional pre-tax retirement accounts, like a traditional IRA or 401k, into a Roth IRA. When you do this, you will have to pay taxes up front on the amount you convert. But once the money is in the Roth account, any growth can be withdrawn completely tax-free, as long as you follow a few simple rules. The great thing is that anyone can do a Roth conversion, no matter your age, income, or work status. With that said, it's generally smart to do conversions when your taxable income is lower than usual, which is often in the early years of retirement. As long as you have a retirement account, chances are you can convert those funds to a Roth. But keep in mind, a Roth conversion can be costly. Essentially, it's a decision to pay taxes on your retirement savings now in exchange for tax-free growth down the road. Because of that upfront tax hit, it's important to take a close look at whether a Roth conversion truly makes sense for your situation. At Capital Wealth Group, we help you evaluate Roth conversion strategies by focusing on three key questions. Number one, how are you going to pay the taxes? Number two, how does the tax you'll pay today compare to what you'll likely pay in the future? And then number three, how soon will you need the money after the conversion? Let's start with the first question. How will I pay the upfront tax? When you convert funds from an IRA or 401k, you can set aside part of the amount to cover the taxes you'll owe when doing a conversion. But ideally, you want to pay the taxes using savings from outside your IRA or 401k. This way, you can move as much as possible into the Roth, allowing it to grow tax-free. This is especially important if you're under the age 59 and a half, because any funds not transferred to the Roth are considered early withdrawals and could face an additional 10% penalty. Now, if you need to use IRA funds to cover the tax, this doesn't automatically mean a Roth conversion isn't a good strategy for you. It just means it may take a bit longer for the benefits of the Roth to really pay off. But, as we'll discuss later, time is often your best ally when it comes to making a Roth conversion work. And then question number two, how does my current tax rate compare to my future tax rate? In a perfect world, you want to do Roth conversions when your tax rate on the conversion will be lower than what it will be when you start withdrawing those funds in retirement. One of the best times to convert IRA dollars to a Roth is during what we call the trough years, the period after you've retired but before you start collecting Social Security or have to start taking required minimum distributions. During that time, you usually have more control over your taxable income, making it easier to manage the tax cost of a conversion. But with that said, it's hard to predict what tax rates will be even a few years from now, let alone decades down the road. So instead of trying to guess future tax rates, think about your current income level and then try to estimate what your income level will be in the future, especially during your retirement years. However, as we said earlier about how you pay the taxes, paying a higher tax cost today than you might in retirement doesn't always necessarily mean a Roth conversion is a bad idea, but it can make it a lot harder to justify the conversion. But once again, time can be your friend when it comes to making the best use of a Roth conversion. And now to question 3. When do I plan to withdraw? Our third and final question is probably the most important, and it ties back to what we've been saying all along about time. How long can you leave the money in your Roth after the conversion before you need to start withdrawing it? The general rule is simple. The longer you can leave the funds in the Roth, the more effective the conversion will be. You need to give the account time to grow tax-free and make up for the initial tax hit. Ideally, like I said earlier, you would not want to use your IRA dollars to pay the taxes, and you would convert when your tax rate is at its lowest. But both of those factors can be overcome if you let the Roth grow untouched for as long as possible. Now, that time frame might be longer than you can wait. And in some cases, your heirs might benefit from the conversion more than you will, and that's okay. In fact, the most effective conversions often involve money you're not planning to use in retirement. You pay the tax now, and then you can leave the account alone, allowing it to grow tax-free for years, maybe even decades. Now let's look at some other considerations. So to be fair, there are other things we should consider when looking at Roth conversions, such as the fact they're not subject to RMDs, or that they can serve almost like an emergency fund for unexpected expenses in retirement. And there's an estate planning angle to conversions, as it may make more sense for you to pay the tax on your retirement savings during the trough years than for your kids or grandkids to pay the taxes. Before making a Roth conversion, there are many factors to consider. If you're unsure where to begin, Capital Wealth Group is here to help. Our tools and expertise allow us to carefully evaluate the pros and cons, taking into account all the details to determine the right amount and timing for your conversion. Using specialized retirement software and working with a fee-only financial planner ensures that the decision is tailored to your unique needs and financial situation. Thanks for listening and have a great day. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Retirement Guide. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review to help others discover the show. For questions, ideas, or discuss your retirement plan, reach out to me, George Jameson, at Capital Wealth Group. If you'd like a free retirement review, visit our website at capitalwealthplan.com to learn more. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more insightful retirement planning in future episodes. And now for the disclaimer. The information discussed in this podcast is for general explanations and education only. It is not tax, legal, or investment advice. Before considering acting on any information heard here, first consult with your tax, legal, or investment advisor. Thank you and have a great day.